Ethan, welcome to The Formula.
Thank
We're
you.
going to dive straight in because I'm just so excited. I'm such a fragrance nerd, so I am just thrilled to have another fragrance nerd here to geek out
Amazing.
with
Yeah.
over smelliness. Before we dive into anything technical, I want to know what drew you to the world of fragrance in the first place. Like, what is it about perfume that makes it so special to you, and how did you evolve into you, Ethan?
Well, for me, it started off as a love of scent that turned into a love of perfume eventually. So, like whether it was my grandmother taking me on little tours around a rose garden in her backyard, or the fact that I lived in Kathmandu for a couple of years because my parents were running an NGO over there. Just the smells of a place like that are just incredible. The spices, the food, the incense, the pollution, the clean mountain air. Like it all just blends together. I love scent, and I just sort of naturally fell into perfume through that.
Did you want to become a nose by any chance, though?
I sort of did for a
Yeah.
while. I
A
don't
nose,
know
just
how.
if you're playing along at home, there's
Yeah.
there's not that
There's
many.
not that many
in the world,
There's less professionally trained perfumers in the world than there are astronauts.
which is wild.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's harder to become an astronaut, but still, it's a competitive industry. getting into
Yeah,
perfume, you know.
but you decided, I don't know, I could totally see you as one, actually.
Yeah, maybe.
You've got
I
that
don't
vibe.
know. We'll see. But I'm in the education side of perfumery at the moment, which is honestly great fun. Just
Amazing.
talking about it all the time. yeah.
Exactly, and great for us because we get to pick your brain. So for anyone that might not be familiar, so Agency De Parfum, before we started recording, I was like, oh my God, I hate having to pronounce like French words. I just sound silly.
As someone who works with a lot of French people, the closest I can get is Agence De Parfum.
Oh my
That's the
God,
closest
though,
I
that's
can get, which is still so far
beautiful.
off. But
I thought that
There
I
it
actually
is.
pronounced it properly, but
just
I did
means
not.
it means perfume agency.
I know, but
Yeah.
the way that you just said that is beautiful. So you work with incredibly niche brands. So you've got Nishane,
Yeah.
BDK, Santa Maria Novella, and Matière Première. You said that better than me. Go on.
Here we go. Matière première.
Oh my, you,
I'm so far
my
off.
friend.
But
That is
somewhat
beautiful.
there.
Do you speak French?
no.
Oh my
I tried
goodness,
for a
you
while.
got the accent
I can
down
understand
pat.
bits of it.
What draws you to those particular brands? Like when perfume agency do you work at?
You can just say ADP if you want.
Okay,
That's
great.
fine.
When
Yeah.
ADP is thinking about bringing a different perfume on board, what do you look for?
So I'm not the one who makes the final decisions on anything, but Nick Smart, the founder and CEO, I think what really draws us as a business towards perfume brands is quality, heritage, and just real creativity in perfume. You know, people that are doing things differently.
So not mass market.
Yeah, not generally mass market. No, I mean, some of the fragrances sell really well, but they're of a different caliber, I would say.
What does that mean though? Is
Yeah,
it how they're
yeah.
made?
So a lot of it is to do with raw materials,
Mm-hmm.
and also just like a lower number of launches being done each year. It means that the perfumers can spend a lot more time creating them. You know, they might spend 6 months or whatever on an idea rather than just sort of 2 days here, 2 days there.
Like you need to do one every single month. Or...
Yeah, exactly. But I think raw materials really are the big one there. So if you're using those really beautiful naturals from maybe frankincense from Oman or rose from Grasse in the south of France, if you're using a lot of those materials, you can smell them in the perfume, and they give a real intensity and heft and beauty to the scent that you wouldn't get if you were using synthetic recreations of those. Although there's a place for that as well. But anyway, it's a big, complicated world of scent. Yeah.
When we're talking about classics,
Yeah.
what would you say are the most iconic fragrances of all time? So they've stood the test of time and they're not going anywhere.
Yeah. So there's a lot. I mean, obviously the cliched
Well, your
answer
favorite
is,
ones then. Like, let's not talk about ones that you
okay,
don't like.
Okay. I mean, obviously
Fragrance
the
is so
classic
personal,
is,
of course, but
Yeah. So like the obvious one's Chanel No. 5. Of course, everybody knows that it still sells amazingly. It's a great scent. Not everyone loves it.
me.
A slightly more
Too much.
underappreciated one would be like Jiki by Guerlain. That is a beautiful scent from late 1800s, or Shalimar. They did that in I think it was the 1920s. Really beautiful ambery scent.
so it hasn't changed the formula.
They've probably done some tweaks, like removing animal musks and
Yeah.
things from there, just so that they don't have to kill deer to create the perfume. I don't know if they ever did, but that's one ingredient that doesn't really get used in perfume anymore. Or
Wow, though.
something like,
So
yeah,
something that's been around for over
yeah.
100 years still sells really well.
Or, yeah, we've got one from Santa Maria Novella that you mentioned before. So they've been around since 1221, but they made a perfume. Yeah,
1221.
1221, exactly. Yeah, so just over 800 years, one of the oldest businesses in the world of
Oh
any
my
sort. Yeah, it's
goodness.
wild. Like the fact that, I mean, they make good products. That's why they still exist.
Yeah, 800
Yeah,
years.
yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, so they made a fragrance in 1533 for the wedding of Catherine de' Medici to King Henry of France, and they still make it. So that's the oldest perfume I'm aware of that still is around. Eau de Cologne, I should say. It's not technically a perfume. But something like Green Irish Tweed by Creed is iconic. That's been around for decades as well. I wear that one a lot. So Creed was founded back in 1760. It's a British and French perfume house.
I
There's
did
a lot of
not
great
know
classics.
that they had been around for that long.
Yeah.
Like, that's just incredible.
Yeah.
How many people are still buying the oldest perfume that's still around?
So quite a few. I host a lot of events at the Santa Maria Novella Boutique here in Sydney. And I always have that one, like it's one of the ones that we talk about because it's the first perfume that they have, like the oldest one that they have. I'd say we usually sell 1 or 2 bottles of that at every event. So people buy a
Wow.
lot of that.
What are the primary notes in it?
So there's a lot of citrus notes in it, which is pretty
Ooh,
typical back in those
beautiful.
days. Yeah. So you've also got like orange blossom in there as well, or neroli it's called. It's the essential oil distillation of that flower. There's petitgrain in there as well, which is from the bitter orange tree, but it's actually taken from the branches, from the wood. They extract it from there.
So it's a little bit headier than a true
Yeah,
citrusy.
exactly. So it's a little bit woody. It's quite green. It's very floral. It's citrusy. It's bright. There's a lot going on. But yeah,
Oh, that
500 years
sounds
old.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
All right. Diving straight in,
Mm-hmm.
we are always bombarded with questions about seasonal fragrance switching. Is this necessary, or are we being played by clever marketing? Do I need a winter perfume? Like, explain your thoughts on winter perfume versus summer perfume and signature scent versus having a beautiful fragrance wardrobe.
Yeah. So I was actually having a chat with some colleagues about this the other day. We were sort of debating the idea back and forth a bit. But I think essentially what it boils down to is when it's snowing outside, do you crave a pina colada? Like, or when it's 40
Ooh,
degrees
I love
outside.
this analogy.
Yeah. Are you just waiting as you sweat, drenched in your own sweat out in the summer sun? And you're like, I just really want a hot chocolate right now.
Or a
like,
deep red.
yeah, like there's just certain things that you don't crave in certain seasons. So I think it's built around that. It's what people are really attracted to in those times. If you want to consume something as far as food goes, those notes are probably good ways to go. But other than that, honestly, there's fragrances you could wear year round pretty easily. You could probably wear anything year round, but it might just smell a bit strange if it's in the wrong season, I think. Like if you smell like caramel on a really hot day, it's going to be weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about, like, obviously because of your job, I'm guessing that you're more of a fragrance wardrobe
Yeah.
type person. But do you, the way that I think that I love someone that has a signature scent because it then evokes so many memories when you think of that person.
Yeah.
But I think that there's just too many fun and beautiful fragrances in the world to ever just wear one.
Yeah, exactly. For a long time, people thought about scent like a life partner. You get your one fragrance and you wear that forever. But I think fragrances make more sense to think of as friends. You know, you've got friends that you had in primary school that you don't really, you don't really spend any time with anymore. Maybe you're still friends with them on Instagram, whatever.
Or you've got one that you still love.
Yeah,
and-
something like that. Exactly. But if you saw them again, you'd still be like, "Hey, how's it going? Great to see you." There's perfumes like that. There's fragrances in my collection that I haven't worn in years, but I still love going back to them occasionally. But you sort of change them over time, and you've got a group of friends. You don't just have that one friend.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with just having one friend, I guess. But you know,
Why? When there's so many great people.
Exactly, and so many great perfumes. So good to branch out and
Exactly.
try a few different things,
So on
or
that
a lot
note,
of different things.
Yeah, why not? You've got to try everything twice.
Yeah.
On that note, you just mentioned that some you don't touch for a couple of years. We
Yeah.
often get asked about fragrances going off and like how long a fragrance lasts. I'm always of the opinion that if you store them correctly, like in a dark, not like a dark, cool
Yeah,
place,
yeah, yeah.
that unless it smells bad, it doesn't really matter. Like, you can sort of have it forever. Do you agree? Or not forever, but
More or less, yeah. So if you store them in a dark cupboard where the temperature doesn't change too much, like as long as the cupboard isn't in direct sunlight, it's not going to change temperature much during the day. Yeah, you can store them for years. Officially, the lifespan of a fragrance is 3 years after you open it, but I think that's more of like a safety thing, just to make sure that, people don't have expired fragrances that they're spraying on
also,
skin.
like, for brands to, if a fragrance does expire, you don't want someone to be like, I'd like a refund on this. It's 3 years old.
Precisely.
I've worn it every day, but I'd still like a refund.
Yeah. The other way too is because they'll change slowly if they do change. You can just spray it on and then compare it with a new tester of that from like David Jones or whatever, and just see side by side. Do they smell the same? If they do, good. Your bottle hasn't gone off. If they smell really different, it's not that the formula's changed. Probably it's just that your bottle's gone bad. So that's a good way to think of that.
What's the old, like, how long have you had one of them?
So I've only ever had one bottle go bad, and that's because I got down to about 5% of the perfume that was left and then just sort of left it there for, memories. But because there was so much oxygen in the bottle, it oxidized way faster than if it had been 95% full. That one, I think that one's about 6 years, 7 years old now. But yeah, I've got scents that I've had for longer than that still haven't gone off.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
I've got
10,
one
12
that
years
it
plus.
doesn't exist anymore. I've had it for 14 years.
Nice.
I'm sure it's probably, like, I'm sure it
Probably
doesn't
changed a
smell
tiny bit.
exactly
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same
yeah.
as it did originally, but it doesn't smell bad.
Okay.
And I've still
yeah,
got a bit, and they don't
perfect.
make it anymore, so I want to keep it.
Yeah, nice.
Speaking of signature scents or lack thereof, what about someone that wants to change their signature scent for their wedding day? I didn't realize that this was a thing. Are people overthinking things? Should you just wear something that you love, or should you find a new fragrance that you will then remember the wedding day forever when you smell it or wear it?
So
Given that it's such a big, pivotal, special day to a lot of people.
So, yeah, I would say if you would wear a dress that you already have in your collection to the wedding, or a suit that you already have in your collection to the wedding, then yeah, maybe wear a fragrance you already have. Nothing wrong with wearing a fragrance you already have, but I know with Libertine Perfumery, which is our like Agence De Parfum's own retailer, we actually do bridal fragrance consultations, and they're really popular. So we have
that would be so fun.
Yeah, we have like brides to be come in and have like the whole bridal party there as well, and make a whole event out of it, and champagne and whatnot, and to find that scent, because that scent then is something that you remember forever. When you look back at wedding photos, if you can smell the exact same smell as well, it becomes so much more magical.
Yes, I agree. What does my scent that I chose for my wedding day say about me? Tell me, give me your worst. I chose Diptyque Dosan.
Okay. Diptyque has some
You
lovely
can be
scents.
brutal, I can take it.
I'm just trying to remember. That's a sandalwood one, right? I haven't smelled the full Diptyque collection in a little while.
It's got, it definitely has tuberose and jasmine in it as well. It's white
Oh,
flower.
of course. Yeah, I'm thinking more the base of the scent. Yeah, okay. No, beautiful. So white florals and white dresses, classic way to go together. So On a Woman by Amouage is another classic white floral that a lot of people choose to wear on their wedding day because it's got that really pungent white floral thing, but in a really beautiful, delicate kind of a way.
Not too, ooh.
Yeah, exactly. But things like tuberose, jasmine, orange blossom have a centuries-long tradition with weddings. So yeah, perfect.
Oh,
Spot on.
Okay, I love a white flower just in general.
Yeah,
Not a
fantastic.
huge fan of other ones, but yeah. A lot of people want to know why they can't smell their own fragrance on them after they've spritzed it in the morning.
Yeah, it's a pretty common question I get asked actually. So basically it's known as nose blindness. So when you smell the same scent all the time, your nose tends to just sort of get used to it and accept that as like a neutral smell. So
Is that why some people that always stink, that they can't smell it?
that is exactly the reason. Yes.
I have never thought about it like that because I've always wondered, can that person not smell themselves, or can their partner not smell that they stink?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Or
You've actually just blown my mind.
it's something like washing powder or something as well, right? Like you can smell it when you change your washing liquid, powder, whatever people use.
Or if you go to someone else's house and use a
Exactly.
towel.
Yeah, precisely. So if someone doesn't use a home fragrance in their scent, the default smell of the house is probably going to be a mix between their kitchen and whatever like washing detergent they use.
Or their dog, if they've got one.
Or their dog. Love a dog. They
I
do
do
smell
too, but I
sometimes.
don't like when houses smell like a dog.
Exactly. Yeah. So basically, your nose just gets used to the smell of something and just accepts it as normal. So your own body odor or the smell of your own home, if you leave home and then come back a month later, you're going to smell your home and you'll be like, that's familiar, but I didn't realize it was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about though? So you can just confirm to everyone that they don't need more than how many sprays do you say?
It depends on the scent. I'm curious, how many sprays of perfume do you do?
One.
Okay, interesting. I mean, depends on the scent. So
Sorry, actually, I say one, but
Yeah.
I really love. It's a cologne, the Elizabeth Arden green tea, just for
yeah.
going to the gym, going
Yeah.
to just. It is the most inoffensive,
Yeah.
fresh, clean smell to
Absolutely.
me. I love it.
Yeah.
That I do a couple. Like it's not because it's a cologne,
Yeah.
but a parfum or a perfume, I would
Okay.
use one.
Interesting. So today, just as an example, I'm wearing this beautiful scent called Outlands by the brand Amouage that I've probably already mentioned. It's a beautiful perfume house based out of Muscat in Oman. I sprayed on, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I did 8 sprays today. 1, 2, 3,
Oh
4,
my
5, 6, 7,
goodness.
8 sprays. Because
What
then other people
time?
can smell it. That would have been, I don't know, 3, 4 hours ago, something like that. Yeah.
I'm
But you've got to
actually
put.
shocked that you're not offending my nostrils though, because I had a baby a couple of years ago, and
Mm-hmm.
ever since I can't tolerate fragrance the way I used to.
Ah, okay.
And so if my husband does
Yeah.
more than one,
Right. Yeah.
I'm just like, yuck.
Yeah.
But that's
Okay.
like right after he
Maybe it's
sprayed
because
it.
we've got a bit of distance here. If we were up
Yeah, and
closer,
also
you
it's
might
been
be
a
a bit
few
overpowered.
hours.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
but I could. You were wafting as you
aura
came
of
in,
the
but it was
scent, yeah.
beautiful. It was not
is good.
overpowering at all.
Yeah.
Wow, and like I'm imagining that the Amouage is a perfume. It's not.
Yeah, so technically it's an Essence De Parfum, they call it. So it's 30% perfume oil. Whereas like an eau de cologne would be sort of 3-4%.
Yeah.
An eau de toilette might be like 10%. Eau de parfum 15 to 20%. Yeah, there's like a whole spectrum
And
of
then what's
different
the
types.
highest
So the
actual
highest,
parfum?
the highest would be an extrait de parfum, depending on the brand, sort of between 30 and 50% perfume oil. Then you've got atars, which literally don't even have alcohol in them. They're just oil. They're not super common, but they're really beautiful and honestly underappreciated.
I think they're quite popular in Middle Eastern countries.
Absolutely. That's where they first arose because that's where the technology was perfected to even make those things. Going back 500 years. I'm really rambling on a tangent here, but they didn't have the technology to create the pure perfume oils. They had to, create them as a byproduct of other distillation techniques.
Oh, okay. But with that, you just use a drop, right?
Yeah, like 1 or 2
Okay,
drops. I'm
good.
wearing a little bit of that today on my jumper and in my hair. You put a couple drops on your hands.
Whoa,
and
whoa,
rub it
whoa.
through,
So
yeah.
you put 8 sprays of one perfume on,
And
and
then
then you've
another
got
one, yeah.
drops of, oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so that one's the other one that I'm wearing. It's got Nepalese sandalwood in it. It's
Oh,
really
beautiful.
something. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds so nice. How many do you have in your own personal collection at home?
Probably too many.
I want to see
I mean,
a
you
photo.
can never have too many.
We need to put a photo up in the group of all of your perfumes.
Yeah, honestly, it's not like a glamorous display or anything because I'm all about like protecting them from light, so they're just tucked
You mean
away
you
in a
don't
cupboard.
have them under, like all of the beautiful bottles in the sun so that the light like can
Glistening.
dapple through?
No, not quite. No, they do look very good when you've got light going through them, but I wouldn't normally have more than 1 or 2 bottles anywhere visible because they're just the ones that I'm rotating. All the time.
Yep. I'm the same. The rest of
But
it
yeah,
in the garage.
I'm up to. I counted it the other day. I've got 76 perfumes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So it's not unreasonable. Well, depends
No,
who you
this
are. But
is
I know
also
people
your
have like
job.
600 scents. I know one, Michael Edwards, he used to have tens of thousands.
Well, he would
Yeah.
because he'd probably have every single one that he pops in his book.
Well, exactly. Yes.
Getting into trends,
Yes.
what scents are you seeing flying off the shelves right now? What are people
Yeah.
obsessing over?
So some of them are like recent launches, like Eladaria by Creed is doing really well. That's just this beautiful, soft French rose smell, a fantastic scent. It's got some citrus in there as well, really beautifully balanced. Then there's some other ones that have been around for a few years. So this one called Torino 21 by the Italian brand Xerjoff has been doing really well. They sponsor there's a tennis final in Turin each year, so they do like a collaboration perfume with them. That was their 2021 bottle. It's like lime and just bright, zingy citrus. Smells like the intensity of a tennis match. I love it. What else has been doing really well? Guidance, another Amouage one actually. That's been doing amazingly. But that one came out 2-3 years ago and just never stopped selling. Everyone loves it. I love it. It's incredible. There's a lot of scents that do really well.
Yeah.
Creed Aventus is one that always does well, like just regardless of season or anything. People love it.
It's funny.
Iconic.
Perfume's one category that, like, of course there are trends, but it's not really like makeup, I should say, or skincare where they're like peptides or Grey Marl or something. Like, you know, if it's a beautiful smell, it's a beautiful smell regardless of what's in it.
Precisely. Yeah. Like there are cycles of trends over the years. So for example, in Chanel No. 5, there's a lot of a family of ingredients called aldehydes, not related to formaldehyde. Don't worry, they're very much non-toxic. But those ingredients don't get used much in perfume anymore. Occasionally they do in a really artistic way. They kind of smell a bit soapy, floral. Something like that. Yeah, I mean, it's not for everybody, right? Like, it's sort of a strange scent. Or ylang ylang flowers.
Oh, I love. I don't understand how that's not more popular because.
Yeah, it's like buttery, tropical.
Oh my
Beautiful.
goodness,
Yeah.
I'm quite like a basic bitch when it comes to a tropical scent, though.
Nothing wrong with that.
Give
Love a
me like
frangipani or
yeah,
like,
give me the frangipani or like a lime, coconut, and basil or something. Oh,
Ooh, yeah.
beautiful.
I like the sound of that.
love like very basic when it comes to that. People talk about perfume layering a lot on TikTok, and then a lot of people, if you're playing along at home, you might be like, "Ooh, I don't really know about putting that perfume on and then putting that one on." Can you talk to us about how to do it properly and not sort of confuse different fragrances?
So the way I would talk about it is you kind of, well, you can layer things directly on top of each other, but I prefer to do like scent scaping rather than scent stacking. So if you spray one perfume and then spray another one on top of it, you're going to get some like blends of things that may or may not work. So it's safer to do like one spray on your wrists, one spray on your neck, something like that. So you have those scents intertwining through the day, but they're not actually physically mixing with each other. That way you can play around with it a bit more and there's less chance of clashing. But also I would just say combine similar scents or opposite scents, but not sort of vaguely similar, but in different ways. So if you've got two woody scents, great together. If you've got like a woody and a citrus, probably great. But if you have something like a floral citrus and like a floral woody scent, that's just going to be too many things going on at the same time.
Or
And
like something woody with something gourmand might be just
yeah, it could clash a bit, particularly if they're really complex scents.
Yeah.
So there's this beautiful perfume brand called Clive Christian, and they use like 150 plus ingredients, up to close to 300 in each of their perfumes, which is well above what most other brands do. Way too complex to layer with, though. Like they're works of art that have to be worn by themselves.
yeah. That would be 300.
Yeah.
Wow,
It's
what's
wild.
average?
On average in the industry, it's hard to say for sure, but I think most brands would be doing between maybe 30 and 70 ingredients. That's kind of guesswork, but yes, it's certainly a lot
It's
less.
such an art, isn't it? Like getting that
Definitely.
blend so perfect.
Yeah.
Speaking of it as an art, what are your thoughts on dupe culture with perfumes?
Good question. So, dupes, I think
Replicas. Smells like.
yeah, exactly. It's kind of like photocopying a painting. So if you go to the Art Gallery of New South Wales and you find a beautiful oil painting there, you could take a photo of it and print it out of your inkjet printer at home. And from a distance, it'd look pretty similar. But if you go up close to it, it's got no soul, it's got no character,
Texture.
it's got no texture. The light hits it wrong. It's just not the right vibe. I think dupes are kind of like that as a general rule, or it's like recreating a couture piece out of polyester. Like, sure, it might be kind of similar, but it's going to fall apart and it doesn't look as good, but kind of similar. So, hey, I guess people go for those, but it's certainly not something I would recommend.
No,
Plus, there
that's
isn't the
such a-
same like medical testing and all those requirements that go
Yeah.
into them.
That's a really good point, actually. That because sometimes I have like I'll get sent one and I'll smell it and I'll be like, wow, that really is similar to whatever it was replicating.
Yeah.
But they don't last. They
Generally not, no.
turn quite quickly.
Yeah, like if you store them, they can sort of go a bit weird within, a couple of years, whereas the original just isn't going to have that same problem because there was so much more research and development that went into making it.
I think the polyester is a very good analogy. It's like, yeah, if you can't afford the $10,000 dress,
Fair enough. Yeah.
fair enough, buy the $40 dress and do with it what you will. But
Yeah, but it's never going to be even close to the same thing.
yeah, that's a really good point. So it's probably better if you really love something to save up
Yeah.
or
Like,
wait for a special occasion and get.
yeah. Like for me, I would rather have one really nice fragrance, the original one, than 10 dupes of various
Yeah.
things. Just because
It also feels special when you're
it
putting it
does,
on.
it
Because you think of the
does.
artistry that's gone in, the magic that's gone into making it.
Yeah, precisely.